Let us start our paper discussion today. Seychelles Premier Danny Farr. It is not there in the Hindu paper today. Seychelles Premier Danny, D-A-N-N-Y, Danny, F-A-U-R-E. Danny Farr is in a 3-day visit to India. Seychelles Premier Danny Farr, F-A-U-R-E, is in a 3-day visit to India. An agreement was concluded between India and Seychelles. An agreement was concluded between India and Seychelles. S-E-Y-C-H-E-L-L-E-S. An agreement was concluded between India and Seychelles with respect to a naval project, joint naval project in Assumption Islands. Joint naval project in Assumption Islands. A-S-S-U-M-P-T-I-O-N. Assumption Islands. A project, joint naval project, was agreed between India and Seychelles in Assumption Islands. Assumption Islands are nearer to Madagascar Islands. Nearer to Madagascar. Now, India wanted to have its naval base, India's naval base in Assumption Islands. Next important article, next important news. You have a festival called Ambubasi Festival. Ambubachi Mela. Ambubasi or Ambubachi? Ambu, A-M-B-U-B-A-S-H-I or B-A-C-H-I. Ambubasi Festival or Ambubasi Mela. If there is a very famous festival in India or famous festival anywhere, if it is in the news, you have to remember any famous festival in India and world, particularly India. Ambubasi Festival is in Kamakhya, for Kamakhya goddess in Assam. Kamakhya goddess in Assam. It is a 4-day festival in Kamakhya temple in Guwahati. Ambubasi Festival is a 4-day festival in Kamakhya temple in Guwahati. This festival is also known as the Mahakumbh of the East. Mahakumbh of the East. Why it is called Mahakumbh of the East? As Kumbh Mela draws many devotees and many devotees go and reach Kumbh Mela, in the same way for Ambubasi Festival lakhs of devotees go to the Guwahati. For that reason Ambubasi Festival is called Mahakumbh of the East. Ambubasi Festival is called Mahakumbh of the East. Kamakhya is situated, Kamakhya is situated atop Neelachal Hills, N-I-L-A-C-H-A-L, Neelachal Hills in Guwahati. Kamakhya is situated atop Neelachal Hills in Guwahati. Kamakhya is situated atop Neelachal, N-I-L-A-C-H-A-L, Neelachal Hills in Guwahati. Kamakhya is one of the 51 Shakti Peeths. Kamakhya is one of the 51 Shakti Peeths. Kamakhya is one of the 51 Shakti Peeths. The great news for women in Saudi Arabia. For the first time after 60 years, women in Saudi Arabia are allowed to drive the cars. For the first time after 60 years, women in Saudi Arabia were allowed to drive the cars. And India-Maldives relations again is in news. As you all know, 1 week back, most of the companies in Maldives have identified that, have said that Indians need not apply for jobs. There was a strain in relationship between India and Maldives at present. There was a strain between India and Maldives relations at present. Now, India have issued cuts on exports to Maldives. Cuts. India have reduced sanctions or reduced the exports to Maldives, particularly potatoes, onions and eggs. Potatoes, onions and eggs. This may further hike the prices of essential commodities in Maldives. This may further hike the cost of essential commodities in Maldives. And as you all know, India-Maldives relations are very crucial. India have strongly condemned imposition of emergency and asked Maldives government, Mr. Emin's government, to conduct elections in Maldives. In the same way, 2 years back, India gave asylum to Mr. Nasheed, the former president of Maldives, in Indian embassy. And the friendship between China and Maldives is also a strong point for contention for India. These reasons, India-Maldives relations are at a troubled waters. And Maldives is a partner in SAARC. Maldives is a partner in SAARC. Maldives is also a partner in SASEC. SAARC and SASEC. SASEC means South Asian Sub-Regional Economic Cooperation. South Asian Sub-Regional Economic Cooperation. Okay. And this move, though they have told, India told that it is based on new calculation, but this move has some inherent meaning also. This move was initiated by Director General of Foreign Trade, DGFT, Director General of Foreign Trade, DGFT, remember, India-Maldives relations. Next article, NRC omissions rise fear in Assam. NRC omissions raises fears in Assam. NRC, National Registry for Citizens. NRC, National Registry for Citizens. Listen, as per the Supreme Court guidelines, NRC is being completed in Assam, but there are many confusions, many names are not included in NRC. There was a problem of illegal migrants to Assam, particularly illegal Bangladeshi migrants. Most of the Assamese have this problem of migrants. So they want to clear that. And Supreme Court also ordered that National Registry of Citizens should be completed by June 30th. But unfortunately, even today there is a lot of confusion in NRC, in Assam. National Registry of Citizens in Assam. And here comes 2-3 issues. If you consider only some names of citizens, and if you say some people are not citizens, what you are going to do with that? Are you going to deport them? Are you going to deport them? Are you going to send them back? First question. Second question, what you are going to do with the excluded people? Third thing, according to the recent Citizenship Amendment Bill, except Muslims, for all Hindus, Buddhists, Sikhs, Parsis, Christians, for all minorities, citizenship will be accorded. Then what about, is it not a discrimination only for Muslims? So many questions were raised under NRC, new NRC, National Registry for Citizens. NRC is particularly aimed to exclude, the recent NRC is particularly aimed to exclude illegal settlers from Bangladesh. Particularly aims to exclude illegal citizens from Bangladesh, illegal settlers from Bangladesh. So we have to remember this. And next important article in today's newspaper, coming to Prague, Pragnandana, world's number 2 youngest grandmaster, aged 12 years, 10 months. Pragnandana, an Indian, is the world's number 2 chess grandmaster. Pragnandana is world's number 2 India's chess grandmaster. Remember, There is a new grandmaster who is coming up in chess called Pragnandana, also called as Prag. Everybody calls him as Prag or now Pragnandana. Remember the name Pragnandana. Is for nutrition security. Recently we had a report, UN State of Food Security and Nutrition in the World Report. UN State of Food Security and Nutrition in the World Report 2017. UN's State of Food Security and Nutrition Report 2017. According to this report, the world contains 815 million hungry people. 815 million hungry people. According to this UN State of Food Security and Nutrition Report, the world contains 815 million hungry people. First thing, the hungry people in the world have increased. The hungry people in the world have increased. And more importantly, in the world economic downturn, particularly after economic downturn we have droughts and other situations, conflicts. For all these reasons, there was food insecurity in India, in the world also, particularly in India. Here comes a point. India started National Food Security Act to address this problem. India started National Food Security Act to address this problem. In spite of this Food Security Act, in India still we have undernutrition. There is a concept called malnutrition. Malnutrition is of two types, overnutrition or undernutrition. Malnutrition ante rendu rakalu. It might be overnutrition or undernutrition. Overnutrition means possessing excessively something or not having particular requirement things in an appropriate way and unnecessary things in a appropriate way. Whereas undernutrition means do not possessing proper nutritional values, that nutrition systems, that's called undernutrition. So nutrition, overnutrition and undernutrition. There are two terms here in malnutrition. Coming back, in India, food and food eating means we'll think about carbohydrates and we'll less focus on cereals, pulses, proteins and other things. So holistic food is very important than intake of carbohydrates. In India, there is a report that the children, half of the children, both from rich families and poor families, 49.3% of Indian children are malnourished. 3% of Indian children are malnourished. It might be rich family, it might be poor family, but 49.3% of Indian children are malnourished. 14.5% of Indian population, as per the health survey, 14.5% of Indian population suffers from undernutrition. 14.5% of Indian population suffers from undernutrition. 53% of Indian women are anemic. They suffer with anemia, the nutrition category. So complementing rice and wheat with more nutritious food items should be the goal. Complementing the rice and wheat with more nutritious food is more important. Always we eat rice or wheat. Beyond that we don't take nutrition, proteins, pulses, cereals and other intakes with a proper combination is a must, including milk and bread, milk, eggs, all those things. So we don't have that generally, but that was the target. That was the meaning of the article. Okay, next important article, sketchy deal. OPEC, Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. OPEC, OPEC, Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. OPEC is a group of petrol exporting countries. OPEC is formed with the objective of price stabilization and to help for the demand supply mismatch. The headquarters of OPEC are at Austria, Vienna. The headquarters of OPEC are at Austria, Vienna. And Saudi Arabia is the de facto leader of OPEC. Saudi Arabia is the de facto leader for OPEC. Saudi Arabia is the de facto leader for OPEC. Here, of late we are observing the rise in oil prices, petroleum prices. Saudi Arabia made an agreement, recently OPEC reached an agreement to increase oil production 1 million barrel a day in the OPEC oil producing countries. 1 million barrel a day. So, how it is going to change the world markets and prices is a future forecast. See, OPEC, in order to stabilize oil prices, they wanted to increase the production of oil. They wanted to increase the production of oil. This is the thing. Next article, the tools for counting. The tools for counting. The other starts this article with 2011 census. 2011 census. The other says during 2011 census there is a lot of demand for caste census. Finally, the government agreed to start with socio-economic caste census. In 2011 census means population count. Since in 2011 census, they have started with socio-economic caste census. The other is saying that in 2021 also such demands will come up. In 2021 also such demand come up. And then slowly the other went into stratification of Indian society into castes. So Brahmins, anti-Brahmin movements, fights, Dalit issues, all these things the other spoke. And finally the other told, already we are facing Patel reservation, Gujars, Jats, Kapu reservation. There are various reservation issues that was floating here, and collecting this caste census, how far it is right, is it practically possible, and how far it is going to help. So she used the word in the last paragraph called affirmative action. It's a positive word for reservation. Last paragraph she used a word called affirmative action. It's a positive word for reservation. And land ownership rights. She told, the other told, in the olden days, the upper caste used to own a lot of land. But with the advent of land reforms and redistribution, the upper class now are holding only little bit of land, not the earlier portion. They don't have earlier portion now. Their land ownership rights got reduced. So slowly society is transforming. So slowly there is a social change. But how far collecting the caste census during the total census is right. Sometimes it may be used for negative things also. Collecting the caste census for social welfare programs, for providing benefits is okay. Collecting the caste census for politics or taking revenge on some caste, they may use that data also. So we should be very careful in collecting such census. This was the complete content of the article. Next important article, a new vulnerability, is about cow vigilantism. You all know there was in Hapur, Uttar Pradesh, attack was made on 2 persons. As you all know, 86% of lynchings are against Muslims. 86% of lynchings are against Muslims. Cow is a holy animal, no doubt about it. Our fellow human is also a human being who can be considered on par with us. He is also a human being. And you can treat cow properly. At the same time, you should treat human being also properly. That was the message in the article. And next article, change perceptions in Jammu Kashmir.
Ma'am, is it mentioned that we should not have any cow? We should not kill any cow.
Should not kill cow. Should not. Change perceptions in Jammu Kashmir. Change perceptions in Jammu Kashmir. This article is about Shujat Bukhari and threats in Jammu Kashmir. Killing of Shujat Bukhari and threats in Jammu Kashmir. Shujat Bukhari, a journalist, got killed in Jammu Kashmir 1 week back during Eid period. And no separate troop wanted to end this fight. In 2003, India and Pakistan have ceasefire agreement. In the line of control, we have ceasefire agreement in 2003. But more than commitments, violations are more in ceasefire. We are not actually committing that ceasefire. We are both the sides. We have violations. That was the gist of the article. And next important article is GST Rights on Federalism. GST Rights on Federalism, page number 11. Our Prime Minister Modi, when he is speaking in Man Ki Baat program, gives credit to the states for successful implementation of GST. It is considered as honest tax. 1 year of GST, first anniversary of GST, success of cooperative federalism in India. All states have successfully implemented the GST. It's a success of cooperative federalism in India. In the 11th page itself, you have 2 more articles. How Husker reset ties with Beijing. How Husker, Haskar. How Husker reset ties with Beijing. Here, in 1987, you all know China attacked India in 1962. After that, diplomatic ties were cut off between China and India. After China attacked India in 1962, diplomatic ties were cut off between China and India. In 1987, Rajiv Gandhi visited China. Along with Rajiv Gandhi, the former diplomat and civil servant P.N. Husker, Haksar, H-A-K-S-A-R. In 1987, along with Rajiv Gandhi, P.N. Haksar also visited China. He negotiated with China so nicely for 10 days that he effectively conducted diplomacy and made all negative things between India and China fade away. And he wanted to establish a proper relationship between India and China. And you know, China is one of the largest trading partners with India, and we have more than around $100 billion trade, and we have aimed at $500 billion trade with China. That is one of the reasons, one of the pillars for this was Mr. Haksar, a diplomat who renegotiated ties with China. After 1962 China war, we don't want to have a diplomatic relation with China. India-Bangladesh navies to join hands. India-Bangladesh have agreed to institute CORPAT, Coordinated Patrol, not petrol. Patrolling means Gasti. CORPAT, Coordinator Patrol, annual feature between 2 navies. CORPAT is between India and Bangladesh. Remember, CORPAT is between India and Bangladesh. Next article, there were elections in Turkey. Recep Tayyip Erdogan, Justice and Development Party. Justice and Development Party won the elections. It was not written here. He already won the elections. 1 hour back the news came. Tayyip Erdogan won the elections. AKP, his party is AKP. Justice and Development Party. In the Turkish local language is called AKP. And you know what he told, Tayyip Erdogan? It's a victory of democracy.